Hello. Hello. Good evening, my friends. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been chit chatting away all day today. I had a coaching call today that was just phenomenal. I had a healthy meeting to lead today, which also we got into some deep dives and some good stuff. I got my coaching hat on today, y'all. So buckle up and get ready and come with your coaching questions for tonight or just questions, whatever. And meanwhile, the chat be going. And I love seeing that. So I'm excited to spend this next hour with you guys. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see who's here. Donna is here. Hello. And Julie and Michelle, good cold evening. I would say, yeah, it's cold here too, but it's actually 42, which for Minnesota in December is stellar. Stellar. Liz is here. It snowed briefly today. It snowed briefly for us the other day. Like all of a sudden we had snow on the ground and I didn't know where it came from. It's gone now, but bad news. The thing I found last week that got rid of the little heart ended up being an ad blocker. Okay, fair enough. Hi, Kim. It is good to see you. It is good to see you. We had a few flakes. Jennifer, hello. Jordan, hi. Good to see you. Jordan, she's screaming Jordan too. We're always glad when Jordan comes. Oh my goodness, my friends. I am excited to just chit chat with you about all sorts of different things. I'm feeling the holiday vibes. I got my little Christmas tree, which I know I had last week too, but the big Christmas tree. The big Christmas tree is up in my house. And for those of you that are newer to the community, you might know that the last time we decorated this house, the only other time we decorated this house was in 2019. Because once the pandemic hit, we have been traveling to Florida and traveling to Florida, and we've just been out of town. And so it never made sense for us to decorate. And while I am a logical human being and I accept that, I accept it. I accept it. It doesn't mean it doesn't break my heart a little bit because I love like Christmas season growing up was just everything to me. And I know my perception of the magic that was in my teens and everything was skewed because being involved in the show choir in my high school meant that Christmas season was freaking magical. We missed literally half of the days of school in winter, in December, because we were touring. We toured to all of the elementary schools and all of the junior high schools that fed into my big public school, high school. And we would be hired to do gigs at night. We went to the big fancy country club whenever we got to go to the country club and perform. Oh, it was like a dream come true. And we got to do all of this during the school day and in the evenings. And it was just the memories of the Christmas season fill me with so much joy. And so to not be able to create my little cozy home Christmas moment was always such a bummer. Always such a bummer. So thankfully, the silver lining of the whole I caught COVID and couldn't travel and all of those things is that I now get to experience this thing that I've been longing to experience for a few years and haven't had the opportunity. So it all works out in the end. It all works out in the end. And so now our Christmas tree is up. We have all of the decor that we have is up. We realized it actually isn't all that much, but it's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. I'm wearing, even though it doesn't make any sense fashion wise, I'm wearing my Christmas light necklace with my Florida Panthers shirt because they're playing right now. So, um, I have some lavender chamomile tea. I love that. I love that. Way to follow the instruction. Cozy beverage. I think that's wonderful. Went to oh yes, Hanukkah starts right. It was cold and the wind made it worse. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I think Hanukkah starts tomorrow. So happy Hanukkah to y'all that celebrate Hanukkah. Your holiday is here. My existence offends him. Oh, I had to take photos with Gracie for some reason. My mother-in-law decided that for her Christmas card, she needed a photograph of just me and my dog. Not me, my husband, and my dog. Just me and my dog. And I don't have one. I literally the last photo I have of me and Gracie is from last Christmas in front of their Christmas tree. So she's like, "Well, when is the next time that you're getting cute and like putting yourself together?" I'm like, "Well, I'm putting on a little bit of makeup today. I'll try to take a picture of me and my grunge ball dog." She was not about it. She was not the dirty looks that she gave me. Check my Instagram stories if you want to see some of the outtakes of that little photo shoot. My goodness. Lori, hello, hello. Champy is meowing away. Love it. Oh, no kidding. A Target brand tea. Love that. I don't think I've tried that one. Love it. Family Hanukkah dinner tomorrow. You're in Facebook jail. Hanukkah starts tomorrow night, but that was when the local town scheduled it. Okay, so tomorrow, the official start of Hanukkah is sundown tomorrow, right? Um, I'm so excited for y'all and your holiday. All right, my friends, let's share highs and lows. This is my favorite part of the evening. It is where we as a community get to share the highlights, the struggles, the wins, and everything in between. So I want to hear your high from the last week. I want to hear your low if you're willing to share. If not, that's okay. I completely understand. Some things you just got to keep to yourself. No problem. And then we have expanded the highs and lows to include our wellness wins. This is, of course, first and foremost, a wellness and lifestyle channel, and people come here for wellness content. So let's give them wellness content by sharing our wellness wins with one another. And then, if you have anything that you are working on, for you, I started doing the working on to like peg it onto the wellness side of things, but like whatever it is you're working on, it doesn't have to be health related. It doesn't have to be wellness related. And share that too. I want to know all of the things about what's going on with you. Y'all hear enough about what's going on with me. I want to know what's going on with you. But while I wait for that, you get to hear about what's going on with me. So my wellness win and my high is I am on day 2 of finally not feeling nauseous. It was a long and bumpy road. And you know how last week I was like, it's touch and go, and I just don't feel stellar. Yesterday was the first day where I woke up and I felt hungry but not nauseous. And that persisted all day. And not the hunger. I obviously fed myself and then was no longer hungry, but there was no nausea. I got on the elliptical machine yesterday and I felt fine. We decorated for Christmas and I felt fine. I did laundry and I felt all right. Everything was solid. So that's going to also be my wellness win because today I woke up and I'm experiencing the exact same thing. Please, please, good Lord in heaven, let me have turned what is it? Turned the corner? Is that the phrase? And no longer have to worry about it. I'm half waiting for the other shoe to drop and for things to like come back at a moment's notice, but all in all, these past 48 hours I felt good, and that makes me so very happy. I'm also no longer alone in my house. I got my husband back on Sunday. You guys didn't know he was gone, but he was gone. Um for that whole time. I was alone for like a week and a half. It was awful. So that's happiness too. So that's my wellness win and my high. And my low is I don't have one. I can't bring myself to even search for a low lately because why? I don't need to search for a low. So I don't have a low. My working on it is I am actively working on creating, prioritizing, mulling over, creating action plans, doing all of the things for my goals for 2024. And one of the primary, and I want to get into this a little bit later, but one of the primary reasons I'm so focused on that so early is because I have no intention of waiting until January 1st to start working on these goals. No, I'm going to start working on these goals immediately. So, with the exception of like, I have some 1,000-hour trackers and things of that nature, I'm going to wait till Jan 1 to do like the tracking of the things, but like the actions and some of the habits and some of the things that I could be like, oh, I could wait till Jan 1 to do this, or you could do it tomorrow, or you could create this habit today. You could practice putting your phone down, breaking up with your phone now instead of waiting till Jan 1. Why wait till Jan 1? Why do that? I don't know. Let's see what y'all are talking about. Let's see. Low, I can't post in groups and I can't post links anywhere for 6 days. Look, one of the topics of tonight's conversation is silver lining. So let's take a second to see the silver lining in this low. We are all way too addicted to our phones. It's just the truth. There is a reason that one of my primary goals of 2024 is to freaking break up with my phone. Break up with my phone. My goal, I saw this in the Cultivate What Matters Facebook group and I'm stealing it, but they were discussing these 1,000-hour trackers and they have, let me see if I can pull one out for you. I don't know where exactly they are. Here we go. Here's trackers. I have trackers. Here we go. 1,000-hour trackers that I have in from Cultivate What Matters. There's literally 1,000 little dots on here, and the intention is you're supposed to spend 1,000 hours on something, right? Doing something. And someone said, I'm going to do 1,000 hours phone free. And I was like, freaking genius, stealing it, done. 100% taking that, because one of my primary foci for 2024 is to break up with my freaking phone and get that time back and use it in a more valuable way. Because let's be honest, 85% of the time, what are we doing? We're mindlessly scrolling. We're consuming articles that we did not write from biased news sources or creators. We are scrolling social media, waiting for that next dopamine hit as the news feed refreshes. So all of that to say, silver lining, you don't need to be on Facebook. Silver lining, you've got time to do other things. You've got other time to work on your memoir and to dedicate things to other things that don't take place on Facebook. I once got kicked off of Facebook for 24 hours for literally no reason. I'm hardly active on Facebook, so I have no idea why I got banned for 24 hours. And I was like, fine, see you in 2 days, Facebook, no problem. And I just let it be. And you know what? I didn't open the Facebook app at all that day. And it was fine. The sky did not fall. I did not miss anything. No one missed me because, spoiler alert, and I actually read this in my book that I was reading today, and it's something that I've been talking about, and it's a video that's coming out soon. But you are not the center of anybody's universe. Nobody cares. So lean into that as permission to take a step away, take a step back. I guess my high is that I got to attend a brief live goal setting session today. Got some of my Power Sheets prep work done, and I will work on more in the coming days and weeks. That's great. Mac, hello. I worked up to 15 minutes on the elliptical. Yay! Low, after not having eating disorder issues for months, I had a trigger today, but I'm processing and pushing through. And I'm proud of you for doing that. It's important to remember that in all of these different situations and personal struggles and battles and demons that we're all working through, the goal is not to never ever be triggered again, because that's not how life works, right? It's what we do in response to those reactions that we're having. That's where the change is made. That's where the progress is shown. And so just the fact that you're like, I acknowledge that this is happening. I am processing it and I am working through it is huge. That's major. Low is that I've not been sleeping well at all. I ended up putting the goal setting away because my brain wasn't awake enough to brain. I tell you what, have you worked out lately? Have you gotten active? Have you gotten sweaty? Have you gotten your heart rate up for half an hour or more lately? Because if you have not, do it. Do it. I did that. There was one day, the first night that my husband was home, actually, I slept terribly. I might have had 2.5 hours of me actually being unconscious. It was brutally bad. And in order to prevent that from happening, I was like, okay, what do I know works and what things can I help make sure that I'm giving myself my best chance? I took all of my meds, so that was not the problem. But what I did know is because of me being ill, I had not been getting nearly as physically active and thus expending and burning the energy that I have generated, but because I've been sitting on my butt doing nothing because movement makes me nauseous. It's fine that I have been doing that. It's no judgment, no shame, no guilt. But the reality is, on the moments that I'm feeling good and I'm acknowledging that I'm feeling energized, I can't go out and spend that energy. So eventually, all of that extra energy is going to bottle up into an instance where I can't sleep. So the very next day, I did two things. I made sure I got on the elliptical machine, even if it was a low and slow burn. I just needed to crank out and get some of the energy out. Get some of the energy out. You got to move your body. Second thing I did was I had this bottle of tart cherry juice, which I don't know if you've heard, but tart cherry juice is having a moment for being something that promotes melatonin production in your body. It's having a moment for the mocktail, the evening mocktail. And a while ago, I bought myself some tart cherry juice. And I made myself like a whopping two mocktails with it. And then I haven't touched it since. And so that night, I literally went to the refrigerator, grabbed my little glass jar, opened it, and just chugged. I took like four mouthfuls. By the way, there's a reason it's called tart cherry juice. It is not sweet. It'll make you go, woo! That's exactly what happened to me. But and I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it's anecdotal. I don't know if it's placebo, but I slept like a rock that next night. I slept like a rock. I did not allow myself to nap. I continued to do things. And all in all, that day that I only got 2.5 hours sleep, I still felt relatively energized, all things considered. That tells you just how much I've been storing in terms of energy. Spending the energy was crucial. And then I added the extra, let me try to throw in some of this melatonin producing thing into my body. And it worked like a charm. Worked like a charm. I had back surgery a little over a year ago. So the elliptical is a huge win. I love that. I love that it's a huge win. Hi, I'm your hi. I had a coaching session with Brianna last night. It was wonderful. I loved it. There was so much, y'all. I love being on here. And I love being in my $10 membership community. I keep wanting to call it the Patreon, but it's not hosted on Patreon anymore. It's hosted on Kajabi. We hang out in a really cool Discord channel. We do. The link to join, if you're interested, is in fact down below. But it's different. It hits different when I can sit solo, one-on-one with y'all, and really start to dive deep into goals, struggles, mindset changes, energy changes, helping you create action items and just think about things differently. It's so different when I can do it one-on-one with you. And I had a great time doing it with Donna last night. And I also had a call today where by the end of the call, watching my client's face light up gave me so much joy. Like we hit the nail on the head. I saw the turning point moment after we went for like an hour and a half, and I saw the moment, and she left feeling so energized, which is so important to me. I love it. It reminds me why I do what I do. Hi, Christmas shopping is almost done. Yes. And my joints feel really good. Great strength workouts. Fantastic, Kim. I love that. Low. For many months, my steps were 8,000. The last 2 weeks, average of 6,000. No reason. Just seems daunting. And you know what? That's okay. You are an intuitive wellness lady now, right? You're an intuitive wellness lady. If something doesn't feel good, there are two things that you need to do. First, assess why. Why doesn't it feel good? Are you just feeling stressed and busy and overwhelmed? And the Christmas season, by the way, spoiler alert, tends to do that for a lot of people. It is an overwhelming season. There are emotions, there's financial implication, there's travel, there's family, there's drama, there's everything. Even if you have the most perfect Christmas ever or holiday of your choosing, it doesn't mean it's not the stressful time, right? It doesn't mean it's not stressful. I am so looking forward to going home for Christmas. So looking forward to it. The idea of going home for Christmas still stresses me out. It will always stress me out until I can be in the city where I can wake up in my house on Christmas Day. It's going to stress me out, even though I'm so looking forward to so much that week is going to offer. You know, it's a stressful time. So, what is happening? Are you genuinely feeling overwhelmed and stressed out? In which case, take a step back. It's okay. It's okay. It's not forever. It's just a season. Christmas is however many days away, 19 days away. Just let it be till then, and then you can pick things up when it's over, when you're feeling less overwhelmed, right? Or are you just backtracking? In which case, can you figure out a way to get an average of 6,500? Can you maybe push yourself to get 7 tomorrow, just to prove to yourself you can do it? Just one day. Can you prove to yourself that you can do it tomorrow? And then you can go, okay, no problem. I can still do it. And then how the steps fall those subsequent days is fine. Sometimes we just need a little reminder that we can do the hard things. We can prioritize our wellness because at the end of the day, every action we take is our choice. So knowing that, you can choose. And it's okay if you do choose to not get those steps in that day. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a failure, but acknowledge that it's your choosing. And that allows you to take the power back. And my win is that something finally clicked when it comes to IE versus diet culture mindset and shaping one of my 2024 goals, which is to define what my eating and wellness looks like for me instead of relying on someone else's rules or definitions of a diet and eating plan to tell me if I'm doing things right or wrong. Yes, 100%. Y'all, I'm not relying on IE to define like the book. I literally have the book and the workbook, and I'm still allowing myself to define what it looks like for me because it's not going to be the same as what it looks like for you. And I'm going to continue to guide my clients through what it looks like for them and what they need in the current season that they're in. There is no black or white, y'all. There's no black or white. I loved your email so much today. I'm so glad. I woke up to a couple of replies in my inbox, and quite frankly, I wrote it yesterday, so I forgot about it by then. And I was so happy that it was resonating with so many people. That makes me so happy. I get a lot of Facebook support from Facebook groups that actually feels good. Yeah, step away. It's temporary. Lean into it, man. Lean into it. It'd be like, fine, I don't need you for a couple days, Facebook. Nothing horrible is going to happen. I promise you, you will not miss anything. I promise you, the sky is not going to fall. Do something else with your time. It'll be amazing. Oh, Julie, thank you. Y'all, you're loving my email. I'm still pleased as punch that people actually read the emails I sent, to be honest with you. I'm so glad. I'm soft starting some goals and working on habits now. Like one of my 2024 goals is to do the Gospels, Write the Word box set. Now I'm working on the routine before I start those books. Love it. I'm in a weird cycle of I'm too tired to work out, but I'm not sleeping because I'm active enough. Got to get out of it. Yeah. So if that's the cycle you're convinced you're in, you're too tired to work out, but you know that working out will help, just suck it up and do something. That's it. I'm all about the body compassion, the body love. And if you genuinely don't have the energy to do it, don't do it. But it's clearly doing more harm to not do it than to do it. Freaking go for a walk. Get on your walking pad and walk for an hour at a slow pace. I don't care what you do, but move your body. Move your body. It will help. Something happened to me that normally really triggered and hurt my feelings, and it didn't bother me at all. Isn't it so great? Isn't it so great when you release other people's opinions of you and you're just like, watch that roll right off my back because I don't care. Cool. It's so good. It's so good. It is a new level. It is a new vibration. Like, when you reach that level, nothing can get you. Nothing can get you. Cherries, yes, that's why the cherry juice is a good one. So cherry juice, I think, is just a more potent form of getting it. I want to acknowledge I had a pretty major win on Sunday, even though I don't know if it's the right place to go into the details, but acknowledging the victory is important anyway. My high is I finished getting all the gifts I needed for both Hanukkah and Christmas. Big. Wow, that's awesome. I am not have not completed my Christmas shopping yet. Second high is I had a mammogram today, the 1-year anniversary of my breast cancer surgery. The mammogram was all clear. So much to praise. There's so much to praise in that statement. First of all, was it intentional? Had your mammogram on the 1-year anniversary of your breast cancer surgery? Was that intentional? Because what a planet. What a way to plan it. That is amazing. That is huge. And I'm so happy for you, Michelle. No wonder you looked all schmancy today. You were celebrating. I am here for clear mammogram. Yes, that is the best. That is the best. Look at everybody celebrating you. I love it so much. That I'm eating too many treats in the evening and I want to start planning a healthy mini meal in the evening to eat before I have a treat. Gosh, I love you. I love that you're a part of this community. This mindset that you had right there, that is, read it again, folks. Read it again because that is beauty. What did she not say? She did not say, I do not want to have a treat in the evening. I got to stop having the treats in the evening. No. Do you know what she said? Let me have a healthy mini meal. Let me provide my body with the necessary nutrients to ensure bodily satisfaction so that I don't overdo the consumption of the treats. There is no neglecting your body. There is no restricting and depriving yourself of the treats. There's just taking what you want and adding what you need. This mindset is golden, and a mindset that we all should be wise enough to embrace in this holiday season, because Michelle has got it. Nourish your body well so you physically are satisfied. And then, of course, you can have a treat. Of course, you can. 100%. Working on it. I need to figure out a way to not have so much to do every day. I'm happy you are 1 year cancer free. I'm 6 years cancer free from breast cancer. I have a lot of breast cancer survivors in my community. I do. Which I think is interesting. Like, personal vulnerability. If for me, it's like one of my fears is that I'm going to get breast cancer. Why that cancer specifically when I don't have a family history of it? I don't know. I think it's because it's one that I often hear is undetected, because like you don't get a mammogram until you're 40, 50. I don't remember. I don't know. But for some reason, that is a fear that I have. I don't understand why. And why I think it's awesome that my community has a bunch of survivors in it is because then I know that if should something ever happen and I need the support, I've got the support in the community already built in. Selfishly, that makes me happy. I think today I finally hit a point where I'm worn out enough and hopefully I'll sleep. I think my insomnia is stress and anxiety related. A lot of insomnia is stress and anxiety related. Yep. I had a forced gym-free day. Oh, well, it happens. I finished wrapping half my presents, still waiting on a few, but I'm almost done. It's so good. It's so good. Everyone is celebrating. It was scheduled by the Cancer Center. Love it. Love it. I didn't have a family history at all. See? And that's one of the reasons I'm like, why is this the thing that scares me? I don't know. I cannot explain. You know what? No, I do know why. It's because of freaking TikTok. And I think I've talked about this before. The reason that I'm afraid of something like breast cancer is because TikTok shares all of the, like, people get on and like with good intentions of sharing, like, here are the symptoms that I was experiencing. I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and I had 0 symptoms. But like all of these horror stories, like that's traumatic, right? And just to like see and be like, oh yeah, I felt absolutely fine and I had this thing, that idea kind of terrifies me a little bit. It really truly terrifies me a little bit because um like, for one, I'm somebody who like I almost have hypochondriac like tendencies, which is stellar because my husband also does. But like I sit there and I wonder if every weirdness, y'all know what I mean. I think for the most part we're all women up in here, right? Y'all know when like the PMS stuff, like the hormonal changes make your girls not feel awesome. I sit there and go, do I have a high pain tolerance and is it actually worse than it actually is? And madness. And I don't know why I do it to myself, but it's people saying, like I had no family history. I had no symptoms. I was 29. And I'm just like, I need to stop being on social media. Who needs WebMD when we have TikTok? I know. No family history from Kim either. Oh my gosh. More than just remember, do your self-talk, let your partner get to know your boobies, or get in a car accident and me and find the scan that way. I still can't believe your story, how literally that car accident saved your life. Like, wow. I do love the let your partner get to know your boobies. Yep, that's gonna be that's the kicker. That's the clincher right there is yes. Either way, you can detect it before your memo. Yeah, and so I've definitely started to be like, oh, what is it? No? Oh, okay, cool. 40 is the new criteria. Home monthly self checks too. Yeah. And I should get better. This should be one of my goals for 2024 is to like pick, isn't there like a specific time in your cycle that's the best time for you to do it? I can't remember why, like, because the breast tissue is a certain way or like looser, or I don't know the I don't know the exact biological thing that's happening, but I remember hearing that there's like a certain time in your cycle when it's optimal for you to do your self-exam. I need to be more diligent about actually taking the time to do a legitimate self-exam, rather than just like wondering and poking, you know. Caught it early, which got it all. No, wow, wow, amazing, amazing. Yeah. So that's me on one of my fears, y'all. So what do we want to chat about tonight? What questions do you have? What topics do you want to use now that we've talked for half an hour already? The next 30 minutes to pick my brain on or start a community conversation on. The chat is open, y'all. Let me know what it is you want to talk about. Walgreens and CVS now sell silicone slip you lay over your breast that helps. No kidding. Seriously? I'm intrigued. I might have to look into that. I am definitely intrigued. I feel like that needs to definitely be a goal of mine this year, is to just do my self check once a month. It's such, and like I'm so busy and I'm out here setting, big, well, they sound crazy, but they're also not crazy at all. Like, one of my goals, spoiler alert, in my power sheets is to set and keep stricter boundaries with myself and others. And in that, like, the primary thing that I was thinking when I decided to word it that way was break up with my phone. Break up with my phone. And like it's all like like that feels really heavy to me, especially as someone who is like actually addicted to her phone. The number of times that I acknowledge that it's in my hand and it does not need to be. I've already started. I have a little I really want this box, but I cannot, I just don't want to justify the price of this box. They have this box called like the Arrow box. Go Arrow, ERO, Go Arrow. I don't know. It is a box that you put your phone in, and it's got like charging cords and everything. And there's an app that syncs up to it. So the box actually detects when you put it in the box, and it will automatically sync to this app, and it will track how long you have kept your phone in the box. Right. And I was like, I love the idea of this because like you can like there's like room for 4 phones, like your whole family can use it. It's brilliant in theory, but there's a subscription model to it, and it's the subscription model that irks me. I would pay the price for the box if it was a one and done cost, but it is not a one and done cost. It is a subscription, and I don't want to do a subscription. So I got smart and I was like, well, let me just use my app that I already paid for years ago for like $4. That is my time tracking app that I'm not nearly as diligent about using as I would like to be. But you can literally have like different categories. So I don't use, but I have all of these different categories of like errands, Gracie, um, like homemaking, cleaning, things of that nature. Diva and the Divine work. I used to have one that I would use specifically for filming and creation of YouTube videos. So it was Diva and the Divine, non-YouTube related, so like coaching and other content and whatnot, versus actually sitting and creating content for YouTube. And then I made a phone free time one. All you do is you just touch it. You just touch it and it'll start to run it until the timer, until you turn it off, and you can set goals and all of these things. And so I've just started using the start the phone free time, put the phone in a different room, turn it on do not disturb, and just let it be. It cost me $0.00 instead of $180. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. That's awesome. I set a date to do my exams, the example, the third of each month to do it. One of my goals for 2024 is to get health and dental insurance again so I can do things like get a physical. Yes. Need to do those things. We need to do all of the health stuff. All the health stuff. Self-checks are important because yes, 100%. Yeah. So doing them both for sure. 3 to 5 days. Thank you. Okay, cool. That's what I needed. Yeah. And because I know the tissues change, and especially like right before PMS when they are hurting, like they can also feel different and whatever. So sorry, I keep grabbing myself on the internet. It's just when we're talking about them, I can't help it, you know? Um, but yes, so 3 to 5 days after. Okay, that is noted 100%. Thank you for that. And I'm going to start implementing that ASAP. ASAP, because there's no reason not to. There's really no reason not to. I tell you what. Um, so I talked briefly about, and if y'all want to ask a question and start a topic, go ahead. But if you don't ask, I'm just going to start talking. So there you go. To be approved since August. That's so, oh man. Oh man. I tell you what. Um we talked a little bit about silver linings and how I'm like it was definitely a good reminder for me how the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? But he's never wrong. So I remember how, I got sick, got COVID, couldn't do my Thanksgiving travel and all of these things. Well, the compounding list of things that I either avoided because of this or now get to do that I otherwise would not have gotten to do because of this is just such a great reminder of like, oh, maybe something that kind of is a bummer doesn't actually have to be such a bummer. And again, like Donna's being not able to post and do things in Facebook groups, like maybe it's not such a bummer. And so one of the things that like the whole list of things, right? I didn't go to Utah with my husband for my sister-in-law's dissertation defense thing. She's now a doctor. Thank you for asking. Not like a medical doctor, but she's a PhD. And they went and like they were doing all of these outdoorsy things. My sister-in-law is one of those like really disgustingly active human beings who does things like 50-mile runs for fun. Though she's one of those kind of people. And I love her, and I love that we both appreciate nourishing our bodies and physical activity, but, like, she's next level. She's next level, and she kept wanting to get us to go out to Utah so she can take my husband hiking and challenge him with one of her crazy CrossFit type workouts and all of those things, and like, she really wanted me to come too, and I'm like, I'm not going to Utah. I'm not going to Utah at the end of November. I'm not dragging Gracie because I was supposed to be in Florida at the time. I'm not dragging Gracie, like, literally all the way to the other side of the country. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Had I done it, I would have experienced what they experienced, which is they did the adventuring. They went to Idaho, actually, and experienced one of the hot springs in Idaho, and it was snowing the entire time my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and husband were in Utah, the entire time. And when they were driving back from the hot springs, it was whiteout conditions on the side of a mountain that they were driving on. Like wildly anxiety provoking. They went hiking in 6 inches of snow. And there's a picture of like my mother in law being held up by both my husband and my father in law to make sure she doesn't fall. And I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting back at home, not feeling my best, but getting sent all of these pictures because everyone was very good about making sure that I was communicated with and got pictures and felt as included as I could, which was amazing. Um, but I'm getting these pictures and I'm just sitting there underneath my electric blanket with my dog in my lap and my video game in my hand going, thank God that I'm not there because I would be not just like not having a good time. I would be legitimately miserable. Miserable. Dodged a bullet on that one. Whew. Then the other bullet I dodged was if I was going to be in Florida, which is the original plan. We were all supposed to go to Florida. I was going to be left in Florida in the house with the pool and the sunshine and all of the things. And they were going to go to Utah and come back, right? That was the original plan. Well, they were having some work done to get some mold and stuff removed from their roof. The process is taking so much longer. And when they returned, dust from drywall everywhere, paint fumes everywhere, everything in complete and utter disarray, everything. And my mother-in-law messaged me and she goes, "You realize that if you had come to Florida like you had planned, you'd be sitting in the middle of all of this, not able to breathe because of all of the dust and grossness flying around in the house, and you would have been stuck here in it." And I was like, "Wow, I dodged a bullet there. Interesting. Interesting." There's a big Christmas concert happening at my church where I don't know any Broadway fans out there. Laura Osnes, who is a two-time Tony nominated Broadway performer, is singing in our church's choir concert. And every year, we've only been in Wooddale for what, 4 years? But every year they talk about this amazing Christmas concert, and every year we're out of town for it and can't participate. And it is a paid concert, so it's not like they stream it for us to see anywhere either. Guess what we're doing on Saturday night? Because we're here to embrace the holiday season that we otherwise would not have been able to embrace. And I'm just, as I'm racking up these little seemingly insignificant instances of like, wow, dodged a bullet there. Wow, now I get to do this. That's pretty cool. It's just a great reminder that like it doesn't have to all be so bad. Things are a bummer in the moment. And yes, there were struggles. Like when my husband was gone, like I was lonely, y'all. I was sad. I was lonely. And I was hormonal, which didn't help. And it was just, ugh, like, and so I, in the moment, was very bummed about it. But upon reflection, I was like, wow, actually this isn't so bad. The lemons that I was given, I definitely have figured out how to make into lemonade. And it's easy to wallow in the things that aren't necessarily going well or aren't going as planned. And instead, I think it's very important for us to be able to kind of change the perspective, shift the mentality there, and to be able to find the silver linings, y'all, because there's a lot of them. If you are willing to look past the clouds, there's a lot of them, truly. So that's my thought on the silver linings. That is my thought on the silver linings. I want to talk about goals. I want to talk about goals. Why? Because they're pretty much all I can think about. I did a thing today. I joined John Acuff's Guaranteed Goals community. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. I was like, this is the thing. I've been mulling it over and wanting it for a month and a half now. Basically, since I picked up his book, All It Takes Is a Goal. Basically, then I was like, this man is speaking my language. I need to dive deeper. I need to dive into his membership community, and which is what it is. I have a membership community too, where I dive deeper into the stuff that I like to talk about. Again, the link is down below. But I knew that I needed to be in this man's membership community. And I happened to stumble upon like the stars aligned. I don't know how it happened. I honestly have no idea how this happened. But when I looked at it about a month ago, there was a specific price. It was $500 for the year. Like I'll just be honest with what the prices were. No, not my community. Doesn't matter. $500 for the year, right? Last night was a webinar that he was hosting, and it ended up being like a 2-hour webinar. It was very informative. It was really, really great. But I knew that, as all webinars are, and members of my community, there's a webinar from me coming. So it's going to be one and the same. Very informative, super helpful information, but also has the goal of selling you something at the end of it, right? And so I knew going into this that he was going to try and get people into his Guaranteed Goals community. And so as this was happening, I went to the website because he kept saying, the website, johnacuff.com/goals. And so I went and I noticed that the price had gone up dramatically. It had doubled. And it was like $9.97 or something. And then like the deal for the webinar was $100 off at $8.97. And so I sat there and I was like, oh no. Like I was hemming and hawing on the initial 500, and then I was like, I don't know, no. So I'm like, okay, walk away, mull it over, whatever, it's fine. So today I start thinking about it again, and I'm downstairs in the basement, and I go to the website, and it's back at a $500 price point, and I was like, wow, what? Literally last night, it was at $8.99. Why is it now back at $4.99? What's happening? And so I was like, okay, you know what would be really great? I literally just put this out. I'm like, you know what I really want? I would rather pay a little bit more month over month, but be able to do a monthly thing. And it was just like what you owe today is $4.99. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd really like a monthly thing. And so I was like, well, I really kind of want to join this thing, so I'll probably join it. So I ran upstairs to go and do something else. And on the computer instead of the phone, I hopped on the thing and I went back to the website and I was like, maybe I'm just going to do it. Not only did I find, or I was actually genuinely curious to see, like, if I went in at a different browser, if the price of $8.99 would pop back up again. Not only did I find $4.99, right next to it was a freaking month-to-month offer. I was like, could the stars have been more aligned to say, actually, you need to do this because this is, you asked for this specific situation in order to get into this specific community. Here you go. So I joined. So I joined the community. And one of the first things I was watching as I was actually getting ready for this live stream is talking about getting ready for, the New Year's with your goals and everything, and writing your goals list. And I don't mean writing like this list, right? And I think I talked about this a little bit briefly, but like especially for us Power Sheets holders, right? Like we have the goals list. It is the list of the thoroughly thought about 8-goal list that we color code and make pretty and do all of these things because that's what we do in the Cultivate What Matters community, right? He's not talking about these goals. He's talking about, it must be him that I got this idea from to do it because I've already done it. And the thing that he's telling us to do, he goes, here's how we get started with making sure that we reach our goals in 2024. We start by writing them all down. Write down all of the goals. Any goal that comes into your head, write it down. Start a virtual list, start a paper list. Think about it over the course of a week because this is my favorite thing that he says. He goes, goals are like bunnies. When you start to put them together, they tend to multiply, which is true. How many of us have ever stopped at, I have this one goal. Then you think of another one. Then you think of a different subject matter and you're like, oh, but what would be great? Underneath the entrepreneurship goal, I would like to do this, 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 this. And this would be nice too. And then a month later, you're like, you know what else I want to do? This. And it happens in every type of goal, right? So he wants you to write them all down. Every single one. Every single one. I wrote down, have a Fab 4 meal plan. I wrote down walk 4.5 million steps. I don't know if that's the goal I'm going to go with. I might be, let's just see how many steps I can get in a year type situation. But the concept, the heart behind the goal is there. Everything, write them all out. And so I want to know, have you ever approached goals this way? And are you willing to give that experiment a try? Are you willing to be like, okay, let's just brain dump. This is what I did for my list of 36 different small goals. And they're not small. They're actually quite big goals. 36, not including some of the goals that are actually on my Power Sheets. So I probably have 40 goals between these two pieces of paper. And now I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, I set a timer for 10 minutes. And I was like, any goal that you could possibly wish to accomplish in 2024, write it down. And I came up with the 36 goals that I had on my list. Crazy to think about, but also how encouraging, because the next step, and I haven't watched the video on this yet, but it's to prioritize them and figure out where you're starting. And who says that if you write down 25 goals, you can't create or complete your 25 goals? Who says? But also, if you're not willing to write it down, it's probably not worth having as a goal to begin with. You got to write your goals down. You got to declare them. So kind of doing the brain dump and then being able to be like, okay, absolutely yes. No, maybe we'll table this one for later. Absolutely yes. This would be, no, maybe not. And be able to sort through them and prioritize gives you a clearer look, a clearer vision at the life that you want to create. And I know that sounds so like, whoa, goals are about the life I want to create. Yeah. Yeah. Name one goal that isn't a goal related to a life that you want to create. That's what you're after here. That is what you're after. You're after this life that you want to create. You're not just after the weight loss goal, the income goal, the new job, the learning how to speak a new language, hitting PRs at the gym. You're not after like those concrete things. You're after the life that you're creating because you have achieved those things, right? And um it's cool. I'm so into goals right now. I am so into goals right now. I can't even begin to tell you. I don't know how we're going to have in my membership community, how we're going to manage to pull off the one call to talk about our goals for January and our goals for 2024, because I'm just so hyped up on goals that I could probably talk about mine well over an hour, why I'm doing this and how I'm doing this and whatever. And I don't know how many things to even like, and my content, like how much do you care about individual goals that how I reach them versus big picture goals versus what do I share versus what do I keep to myself? It's all I can think about, y'all, but like in the most inspiring way. Because again, remember, when am I starting my goals? Not January 1st. I'm starting them now. Starting them now, which is so, oh my goodness, which is, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. The goals list that is currently blank, but very beautifully color coded in rainbow order. Love it. There are so many coaching things I wish I had money for. My writing is what I'm saving for, but IE coaching could be useful. Yeah, 100%. Coaching is one of those things. Like, there's a reason that I do it because I have found its use in my own life. I've gone through a couple of different coaches, different membership communities, because it's always helpful to have accountability. It's always helpful to have somebody to show up for other than yourself for many people. For those of you that are upholders out there, get out of here because you don't need a coach. You're fine. For the rest of us, for the majority of us, it can be a really game-changing thing to be able to talk things out with people. And sometimes like people like, could I talk these things out with my husband? Yeah. Is it easier for me to talk these things out with a coach? Yeah, it is. I missed the brain dump page in my power sheets today. Brain dump some more. You don't need even the page in the power sheets. Just brain dump away. Not saying I'd spend the money, just I wish that I had the money for it. I've not set goals because I feel bad when I don't meet them. So you got to set goals that are attainable. That's the thing. There are two types of people in this world. There are people that need to set the lofty, audacious goals, which I want this year is the year that I become a finisher. Literally, one of my goals. Where is it? Where is it? I wrote it down. Where is it? Become a finisher and an expert at follow through. Because I have that goal, my other goals can't miss. They won't miss. Because when I say I'm going to start something, I'm going to finish it. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to change my mind. I might start in pursuit of a specific goal and actually go, you know what? I'm not interested. This is not what I want to do. It's okay to wipe that aside. But I have a lot of things that I do want to do. I have a lot of things that are tied into my health and my goals around my body's functionality and the goal of nourishing my family with food and learning how to cook more things better and all of these things and goals within my business and goals of these things. And here's the thing, as long as you keep working towards them, you cannot fail for the lofty, audacious goals. If you're somebody who has shown up for yourself in such a way where you don't meet your goals and you feel bad, you feel shame, you feel guilt around those things, what you need to do is start with baby steps. You need to start with easy goals. You need to start with goals that you accomplish in a weekend, that you can accomplish in an hour. Because here's the thing, you need to start showing up for yourself. That's how you have confidence. That's how you build the trust that you're going to be able to accomplish the big things because you do the small things first. If we can't do the small things, there's no way we can do the big things. That's why flossing every day is on my goals for this month because A, flossing is very, very good for you, but B, it's such a small thing. It's literally 60 seconds out of my day. Can I swing 60 seconds to pop the flosser in and take that extra step when I'm going to sit there and brush my teeth anyway? It proves to myself. Every night that I do it proves to myself that I can show up for myself and keep the promises I make to myself. And that is how you become a goal getter. That is how you become somebody who sets goals to somebody who finishes and reaches their goals. But you have to start in a way where you can get some easy wins under your belt and build momentum. So, what is a goal that you can set for tomorrow? I want y'all to answer this. What is a goal you can set for tomorrow? An easy goal that you can achieve that when you go, I did the thing. Look at that. I showed up and I did what I said I was going to do. What goal do you have for tomorrow? Make it stupid easy. 10 minutes or less easy. What can you do 10 minutes tomorrow that you can say, hey, this is my goal for the day? And you can show up and you can do it. Had a page where you can just write down and brain dump goal ideas. Every year is to improve a certain area. If I'm a 4 in health and wellness, my goal is to not be at a 3. I like it. Worst case, we can bring the discussion into the Discord for sure. For sure. There's a goals channel in our Discord channel in our membership. So go nuts, y'all. Go nuts. My goal is to stay alive as long as possible. That's a great goal. That's a great goal. And actually, by default, you kind of will achieve that goal because when you go, you've been alive as long as possible, right? So if your goal is to stay alive as long as possible, what is one thing you can do in 10 minutes or less to get yourself closer to that goal tomorrow? Just one thing. Don't complicate it. Just one thing. One of the things I'm slightly excited for in 2024 is I may have a few months where I'm going to create my attending list before the goals chat. I did meet my weight loss goal and I'm so proud of it. Exactly. I like talking things out with people because it helps me process, but overall, I think having a coach would actually hinder me more than it would help me. Your goal tomorrow is to take a shower. Perfect. Perfect. In our Discord channel, let us know when you took a shower. Celebrate it. Put it in the accountability group. Put it in the accountability tab. Remember yesterday when we had in the accountability tab, one of our members put her massive to-do list in there? And then a couple hours later, she went ahead and said, look at the things I got crossed off. And she shared her to-do list and the progress she made throughout the day. It was brilliant. It's a great use of the accountability tab because it helps when you have the accountability and you have other people checking in on you. And even if they don't go, hey, Donna, did you take your shower today? Knowing that the people keep popping in and looking at the messages means that other people saw that you set the intention for the day, that you set the goal for the day. It helps. I'm more into habit goals and action steps. And that's fine. If that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. That's great. One of your goals in the health and wellness category should be to figure out activities you can do as a plan B when you can't get to the gym. I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. Donna is going to go on the exercise bike, or Lori's going to get on the exercise bike for 15 minutes. That's great. That's an easy goal. It's not a commitment to a 60-minute workout, y'all. It's not. It's 15 minutes. There's no expectation on pace. Pace doesn't matter. How many rotations you get doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you watch TV, read a book, listen to a podcast, talk to your husband. As long as you get on that bike and do it for 15 minutes, you have met your goal for the day. You have shown up for yourself. Congratulations. You have built momentum towards being able to set another easy goal and accomplishing that thing. That's all y'all. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do to turn into the big goal getter is show up for yourself. I'm knocking at my power sheets in case you're wondering what I'm waving my hand at. I'm touching my goals as I'm saying these things. To not put anything on my to-do list for tomorrow that doesn't absolutely need to be there. I love that. And here's a challenge that I would put on there for you as well. As you're sitting there curating your to-do list, remove at least one thing, take it off. Take it off. I love the concept of today's top 3. If you do nothing else this day, what are the top 3 things that you need to get done today? If nothing else on your 25 item to-do list got done, but these 3 things, you would be like, I had the most bomb productive day. It's my favorite thing. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I go, okay, what are the things I have to get done today? What are the things I have to get done today? And it's no more than 3 for a reason, because you can't have 10 top priorities. You can't have 7 top priorities. 3 is pretty much the max in terms of top priorities. Where too much external influence is hurting me more than it's helping me. A little talking out loud process is fine, but playing for a coach is too far. Yes, and I actually love that you came to this realization, because for a lot of people, there is too much information going in and not enough processing and coming up with your own opinions happening. You're so busy listening to other people's opinions on something that you're not processing and creating your own. And that's not okay. That's not okay. Sure, it's great to get some inspiration and whatever, but when you're elbows deep in information, all you're going to do is get confused. That's it. You got to take time back and you got to process. So let the excess information go for a while. That's okay. That's absolutely okay and advisable, quite frankly. Maybe I'll drag out my walking pad or bundle up. Maybe I'll do something. Yes, please move your body tomorrow. Priorities is a shh. I am also the person that has multiple bests and favorites, so you can't tell me that priorities is unacceptable. My husband says I have a problem with superlatives. I need to learn how to trust my internal knowledge. I'm great at giving advice when it comes to other. Lissa, you're a projector. You are a projector. There is so much about you that screams projector to me. Screams it at the top of its lungs. You are a projector. Because you're right, you are excellent at curating information for people when they need it, when they've asked for it. You're great at giving the information people need when they need it, right? It's textbook projector. Textbook. About the word priority. Yep. Yeah, nope, you are. It's fine, and it's fine that you don't get it or you choose not to look into it. That's totally fine. Doesn't mean that I don't see it in you, because I do. I do. For those of you that are wondering, projector is her type on the human design plane. Mine is generator. So I'm a generator at generating energy, which is also why I took it to be very important to me to get rid of my energy, because generators function best. They wake up with a tank full of energy and they're supposed to deplete that energy by the end of the day doing things that are satisfying to them, doing things that bring them joy, and doing these things and depleting their energy in this way so they can go to bed exhausted, but then they wake up again with their energy stores refueled because they're generators, and that's what they do. Which is why I literally was like, I need to go and spend my energy because I have not been spending my energy. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know, that's what helped me sleep better. You are good at giving advice. Yep. And I can't afford to pay for more information, and that's fair. And that's fair. There is a lot of information out there. TikTok, I've stumbled across a couple of human design people on TikTok. So if you literally search like human design projector on TikTok, you'll find stuff. I use up 2 pens. Nice. That's always the best feeling. Good night, Donna. Yep, I'm going to let y'all go because it is in fact time for our time to end, but this was a lovely conversation. I hope that y'all found it helpful, inspirational, educational in some way. I want to wish everybody who's celebrating Hanukkah a very, very happy Hanukkah. For those of us that are gearing up for Christmas, hang in there. Hang in there. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's almost time. Make sure you take time to enjoy the season. Whatever the season is for you, make sure you take the time to enjoy it, my friends. Okay. If you are interested in joining our $10 a month community, it is awesome over there. The link is down below. I would love to have all of you as members because y'all are pretty fabulous. Not gonna lie. And that's all I've got for you. Take care. Have a wonderful night. And I will talk to y'all next week. Bye, guys.